This is an issue I've been talking about for quite some time, and so too have the people in Genesee County, Michigan, and beyond. Actually, a lot of people are talking about this. Don is a concerned resident, and he's gotten involved in this issue down in Genesee County, Swartz Creek, or is it Mundy Township, or is it several communities this is in?
It it's going to affect every community, but it's technically Mundy Township, but also, we're Swartz Creek school system, and
Okay.
you know, we're part of. It's all one big area.
Okay, I'll sum it up real quick for people who do not know. We're talking about a mega site, and in Michigan, a mega site it's a lot of acres, a lot of land in the state of Michigan. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the state of Michigan, they want to bring a big company into the state. They say it'll bring jobs and everything like that. But what they do is they spend a lot of your tax money preparing the land. They dig roads. They do everything to get it ready for the company, and then they try to go out and get companies to come in. Is that kind of
Yeah,
what it is?
yeah. It's roughly going to be around 1,300 acres. It's a two mile square, and I don't know if you. I'm sitting in the backyard now. You can hear the beeping noise as they're demoing homes now for a mystery company. I don't understand why you would tear a home down when you don't have a buyer.
And that's the thing. Now, in the past, companies would come to a township, and let's say they wanted to open a grocery store somewhere. They would go to the council and say, "Okay, here's our plans. We're going to redo this road, that road," and then they'll approve it. But in this instance, they're putting, what do they say, the cart before the horse, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty much what's going on. Yeah.
So the area is, I have it up on the map right here. The airport's right nearby, and that's probably really attractive to them, right? That the airport's nearby.
Yes, and across the road too, they have the railroad. They bought, I don't know, 50 acres on the Flint Township side, so they can connect to the railroad also.
Okay, so this is the area you're looking at right here, I-75. For those of you who are not in Michigan, it's right outside of Flint, and there's homes there. And you said they're already buying up people's homes. Well, who are they? Who are they that's
It would
buying?
be the Flint Genesee Economic Development is in charge of it, but the who's buying the homes are Maple Hill LLC, Tim Herman's
Okay.
company.
So it's a group. Okay, so the state of Michigan, the MEDC, they give this group a boatload of money to develop the site. And that organization, they are there to help develop it and organize it all, right?
Yeah, yeah, they've roughly received about 259 million.
Okay. So far, 259 million, is it all tax dollars?
All tax dollars to prep the land, to demo homes, to buy the school, to buy farmland, to buy the whole 2 square miles. They want to buy it all.
Okay. How long's it been going on?
I've been fighting this now for probably close to 3 years when I first found out.
Okay.
It's
So, no, go ahead.
no, I mean that's what I have. It's just been a long, hard road, with the tax dollars.
Okay. And you and others are against it. Now, the state will say it's going to bring in jobs and improve the economy. And I want to say, by the way, that Michigan has a bad track record for this because many times the MEDC, through some research from the Mackinac Center for Public Policy, and I will disclose, I do work for them with social media and so forth, but many projects where the state announces they're going to bring all these jobs in, it doesn't happen often. So why are you against this project?
It's just about the way it's happening. One, it's our taxpayer dollars. Two, they're tearing down homes for a no company. And how do we put these homes back if this mystery company never shows up? So we're using our taxpayer dollars to bring in a company, but we don't know who it is. It's kind of like me going to a Ferrari car dealership with no money or no application. Wouldn't you have it all prepared first if you're using taxpayer money to move forward? I mean, we're dealing with a school right now. They're getting ready to do a $40 million offer on June 25th to try to purchase the school. Now, if they demo a school and there's no company, why did we tear the school down?
And that's what I want to get to. I found this out last week that I was shocked. I shouldn't have been shocked, but to find it out that they're actually going to sell a school and demolish it, possibly to be part of this mega site. And the name of the school, what is it again? Is it
It's Morse Elementary.
Moorish Elementary? Okay. So I didn't know why you would demolish a school, and you said they had just got some money, right, to make improvements.
Yeah, they just a few years ago we passed a bond, and then we just recently, this past November, we passed a bond for school improvements. They could be used for even new construction of schools. So they sunk about 3 million, roughly, let's say between 2.5 million to $3 million in Morse Elementary. Yeah, that picture there. So where that red is, that's a whole brand new office, new landscaping, new sidewalks, new parking lot, a new
Wow.
easement. They put a new easement for a bus loop that goes out to the church, out to Linden Road.
Okay.
Um, I have a video on my Facebook page, the Megasite page, of school getting out yesterday. There's probably 15 buses there with all the kids and honking the horns. There's 452 students, I believe, that go to that school that are going to be affected by this. And if we do sell the school, and nobody comes in. So I got taxed for the bond for the $3 million to put into the school, and now I'm going to get taxed again for the $40 million offer that they're getting ready to present. So it's
Yeah.
like a double whammy for me, and I'm 7 doors down.
Yeah, I want to explain to people. So, what would happen basically, they would tear the school down to make sure this mega site would be ready for a company to come to Michigan. But
Correct.
the problem is a lot of people see, what if a company does not come to Michigan? Also, who is paying? It's not a private company paying the school to tear it down, to build a new one. Who it's the taxpayers, right?
100% with that $259 million they received through the MEDC.
Okay, it might be different if a private company came in and said, "Hey, we'll pay for all of it," but it's not. It's me, it's you, it's everyone watching.
Right.
Okay.
That's exactly right. I mean, we wouldn't have I guess I'd still probably have a hard time if it, there's rumors that it's Western Digital, but I don't think ultimately the people don't understand there's 452 students in there, our taxpayer dollars, and these kids are going to have to be bused to a unknown location or school or where we're going. Every time you ask somebody what the plan is, nobody will tell you anything until the last minute. I've been asking, has the school sold? Has there been an offer for 2 years now with the superintendent? And I get the same answer. The first thing was to pass the bond. I'm more worried about, he would tell me, I'm more worried about the passing the bond than I am worried about the school. Well, I'm worried about the school because it's the tax dollars.
Yeah, so why spend the money on I'm sure other buildings in the district probably got improvements too?
Yeah, yeah. All the schools did, and we're building a new ball field where the old Mary Crapo building used to be. That's part of the bond too. So
Okay. So, let me put up, to be fair, I reached out to the school district because I wanted to get
okay.
their I'm gonna read their statement because I've heard also the current superintendent might be leaving, or he might be going. He said in a meeting there's another job out there. I heard somewhere in a meeting that he might be taking another job, maybe.
Yeah, that was discussed last night. I brought that up at the board meeting last night. He has applied for a superintendent job in Zeeland. There was 22 candidates, and they're down to the final six, and he's one of the contenders. Which, hey, congratulations! It takes a pretty strong resume to get that far. My question would be for him, if he does take an offer for the school, to excuse himself from any type of part of the school for one, looking for a new job. But what also really baffles me about this is they just extended his contract, and now he's looking for a new job. It's
Yeah. Or anyone on the or if anyone's on the school board who has any, and I don't want you to mention any names or anything because I don't know myself, but if anyone has any conflict of interest, they should excuse themselves, right?
Oh, exactly right. I can give you one here. A conflict of interest is the financial business manager. That's Rod's right hand man slash woman. He'll tell you her name's Jamie. That's my next door neighbor. And I asked this at the meeting last night. She sold her house.
Okay,
She lives inside the.
I don't want to get into it because I don't know. I haven't been able to talk to her, so I
Okay.
don't want to go there. Um, Let me just say, if anyone has a conflict of interest, they should excuse themselves, right?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. I don't
I
I don't
guess
wanna I don't wanna point out anyone because I haven't done the research and found, but I guess the big thing that everyone should care about, if anyone has any conflicts, just
yes,
excuse themselves so it can be fair, right?
yeah, exactly, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Just
didn't
be
mean to
fair. Yeah,
yeah, I
if
didn't
you live somewhere and you work for a school, you shouldn't be involved.
yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted
No,
to
you're good. No, I get it. I appreciate it.
okay, no. So let me put what this guy what this it's deputy superintendent. I'm gonna hold on here. I got the wrong thing on the screen. Hold on. Always having some computer issues here, I tell you. I'm always having some issues on my computer. Um, so while I bring that up, what's it like out there? Is there construction equipment and crews all the time?
Oh yeah, there's they just tore a house down 4 days ago, and roughly about four doors down. There's and these people that are moving out, they're just like abandoned their homes. They doors are getting broken off, tall grass, they're leaving chickens, they're empty pools, and Tyler Rossmessler, I email him and he said it's I kind of got to deal with it because it's the transition that they're not you know the people still have an agreement to live there, but Maple Hill LLC owns it. But Maple Hill LLC is the landowner, so you need to have someone come out and cut the grass.
Gotcha. Okay,
Even though it's my taxpayer money that's going to cut the grass, but it still needs to be taken care of.
yeah. Okay, I found it. I'm gonna read this.
Okay.
This is from Jim. Is it Kitchen? I think.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He's
Deputy
a.
deputy
Yep.
superintendent. Okay. He says, because I asked him, I said, why would you sell a school if you don't know what's coming? And this is what he said. At this time, there is no confirmed sale of the Morris property. However, it is my understanding that an offer will be presented to the board at June 25th meeting. While nothing is finalized, the site appears to be under consideration for development, which has prompted several residents to list their homes for sale, including some of the vocal opponents, which would be you're one of them.
Yes.
Um, I trust our board will give thoughtful consideration to the implications of any proposed development, especially in terms of what it could mean for our more students. It's my hope that we can ensure the learning environment remains positive. Uh, a modern, state of the art elementary school would certainly be a valuable investment in our future. We're not initiating the sale, rather, we are thoughtfully responding to an evolving situation. I'm confident that our board will continue to prioritize what's best for our students. So, what would you tell the board, or what have you told the board? What should they do?
I would wait until there's an application, until we have a buyer. Why go through it? Sink $3 million into the school. Okay, when you announce it's Western Digital, if it is Western Digital, okay, then get an offer. Let's not sell the school when we don't know who it is, or if tear the school down, cause all this inconvenience for all these families.
Okay, that makes
You
sense.
know,
People may not know how this business works, but Michigan, they're going to have this site already. It's basically like when people say they want to move into a move-in ready home, right? They can just move in and it's ready. That's what the state of Michigan wants to do for a business, right?
yes, that's what they want.
Okay, so let's say there's company X and they're almost close to a deal or they're about to sign an application because the first step is what do they need to do first to make it real?
Well, I guess it'd be clearing all the land. Is that where you're going
Well,
with
no,
this?
the company with like a company says, "Yes, we wanna do it." Do they need to go to the board and
Yeah,
work?
they'll have to be an application in Mundy Township to go
Okay,
to the planning commission.
okay,
Yes.
okay, that's it. So let's say company X is about to go to the planning commission and they say, "Okay, we're gonna apply, but wait a minute, we're gonna call South Carolina to see if they can give us a better deal." If South Carolina gives them a better deal, they could tell the mega site, "Well, we're done with you, we're going to South Carolina," right?
Yeah, that's actually happened here because Stellantis was interested in the land, and they ended up picking Indiana over Mundy Township because the property was too jagged and irregular because of the school, the church, the 165 homes, all that stuff. So I
Wow.
think they learned from their mistake that they need the whole land a complete square 2 miles before they can get somebody to commit. But just like you said, if South Carolina said, "Hey, we're going to give you an extra $1 million and an extra 10 acres," they're going to leave Michigan.
So the companies are basically in the business world, and this is how business works in the free market, it's fine. They're playing the states against one another.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. You see it every time.
But the danger is if Michigan loses out, what's going to happen to that land?
That's a great question because if they do tear down the school, all the homes, it's just an empty 2 mile square. Right now, it's a beautiful rural area to where you want to live and raise your family.
What if, okay, let's say for 5 years, nothing goes there. And then in 5 years, they get a business to come there. Everything is great. You and others are still opposed. The big thing I know that a lot of groups are opposed to is that over $250 million of taxpayers should not have gone towards it. The state of Michigan should not pick winners and losers. Is that a big deal?
Yeah, no, they shouldn't pick winners and losers. It should be a definite yes or no. It should be a company. You
Yeah.
know,
And I know you have concerns and others do about environmental and all that kind of stuff because right now, usually before a company comes to town, and I know they'll be able to do that during the application process, but what are the chances they're going to turn them down if they're, I mean, it's going to be tough because we don't know
it's
what
going to be tough.
there's been environmental studies and all, we don't, because we don't know what kind of business it is technically.
Yeah, nobody knows. We've already had one violation with Eagle a couple months ago.
I saw that.
That was they cut down a wetland. I did email the Flint Genesee Economic Development. I did email Christine Armstrong. I let them know, and I think I even said in my email, I demand you to stop. You're doing something you shouldn't have been doing, and they kept doing it. So I guess it's easier. What's the saying? Ask for forgiveness than permission, or because that's what I'm seeing. What's going on? And they still don't have their violation yet.
Yeah, I see it here. It was the Michigan Department of Michigan Department of Energy and Great Lakes violation to Maple and Hill LLC. That's the company who gets the money and does it all,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so there's been one violation already. Um, so yeah, so basically to sum it up, for someone sitting at home watching in Michigan or in your community, the thing is you're spending over $259 million in tax dollars for a project that we don't know for sure if it's going to go, right?
Correct. Yeah. It's just a lot of destruction for nothing right now. It's tearing down everything, and let's just hope somebody comes here is the way I look at it. That's what they keep saying.
And even if they do come, the point is maybe $259 million shouldn't go to a private company. Right? I mean, we had the issue with General Motors and other companies. They stay in town for 5 years and then they leave.
Oh, that's my biggest fear is what will happen to here for our grandkids or our next generations. It's going to end up turning like Flint, like Buick City or Detroit, Town or whatever. I mean, eventually, and that all started with taxpayer dollars too. And
Yeah.
it just doesn't work.
Well, you would hope that they would put something in writing that they would have to pay you back, or but that still doesn't help the land, right?
Right. No. Once the land's gone and the trees are gone, it's gone. You can't replace 100-year-old 40-foot maple tree once they cut it down.
So you and everyone out there, you're not against development, you're not against bringing
No.
jobs to town.
No. Not at all. And probably if they would have been straightforward from the beginning, it'd be a lot different if they would have done it the right way. And, the secrecy and the taxpayer dollars, let's get a company first and make them pay for it. We should not pay for it.
Now, before I let you go, the is it the Maple and Hill LLC? They're buying up homes.
Yes.
Okay, and they offered to buy your home.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Can
Back in
you
November.
Okay, but if you would have sold your home to them, would you have had to sign a non-disclosure agreement?
Yes, they gave me one. I have it. Yeah, so I would have to. So everybody that sells does sign an NDA, but still there's a lot of people that like to tell me things, or if they, I pretty much know what goes on, how it works.
So, I guess it's tempting if you're a homeowner to sell your home, but then again, I think I told you or I was talking to someone else that then you have to buy another home and homes are expensive, taxes, it's not always have you talked to anyone who's had regret over selling?
Oh yeah, there's a couple different stories. the Flint or Maple Hill LLC is extending some of the people that they made agreements to purchase their home. They paid for their home. Well, they have to extend their date, their move out date, because they can't find another home. I have another horror story. A guy was $30,000 short because he was one of the first ones that sold, and he wanted to build a new house, and he's $30,000 short, and the bank won't finance him,
Oh
and he
no.
regrets it. So there's a lot of horror stories, and they're double the offer. Like my offer was 475, and people don't realize your taxes, your moving expense, your insurance, everything's going to go up. Your mortgage rate's going to be 7%. But everybody's different, and everybody has a different financial situation. My one neighbor, they moved in. I told them, don't. They just recently moved in a year ago.
Oh,
I said, don't unpack. You're going to get bought out. Well, they got bought out, so they basically bought a lottery ticket and they doubled their money. So they
no.
have no ties to the house or nothing.
Yeah,
But
I don't
again,
blame them. I guess I don't
it,
blame
it's
them,
it's
but
my taxpayer money, that they use
well,
for the lottery.
yeah,
But I'm
that
not mad at them. I go over there, borrow them tools, take care of them, and we're best of friends. But
yeah, that's fine. So, okay, well, I'll let you go, but the one thing, so what is the next big thing people need to know about? Is it that school board meeting?
yeah, June 25th, I would highly suggest everybody in Mundy Township, Swartz Creek school system. This is going to affect all the children that go to Morse.
Okay.
Hundreds of
So,
families. You figure if they got 450 students, that's a lot of families that are going to be involved. And I know the school system, they say they want the safety of the elementary kids. Obviously, I agree. If there's a plant here, let's get the kids out of here. But my point last night at the meeting was right across the street, there's probably another 1,000 homes. What's the difference between a second grader and a 79-year-old grandma? She should have every right to clean water, fresh water,
yeah,
and not have to pay with her taxpayer dollars.
exactly. Well, I appreciate it.